Previously on Knight's Quest. The impatient Captain Flynn decided to go for a walk on the docks of the Giant's Foot, where he encountered Zampa de Piede and his goons, which quickly escalated into a full-on fight. Meanwhile, Saoirse and Zataar are in the middle of a razor gator fighting pit, and while it seems they have almost bested their beastie, a new challenger has entered, the Red Cutlass, the very person they came here to find. So clench your fists and just start swinging, because it's time for another adventure here on Knight's Quest.
Jake, I'm gonna go to you. The quickest 3-line ever. What are you doing? Get out of my garage. You broke the windows of my garage. Get out.
Jennifer, I also live here. This is our house. Go back inside. Take your medicine.
Tommy, I can't stay mad at you. Will you marry me?
Right, you did it. Okay.
Bam, 3-line.
Love it.
Congratulations.
It's beautiful.
All right. Cold open time.
Was that not the cold open?
Is that it? Was that the cold open?
That would actually be a pretty funny cold open.
That's a great cold open.
Okay, well, so welcome everyone to Knight's Quest, I guess. We started the show. That's how we warm up for every episode. Is we do those. They're called 3 lines, but usually they're not in the show.
If you want more of those,
of those, go to Patreon.
Oh, there we go.
We have so many. We do three lines for every warm up. There are so many, and the compilations of those are amazing.
they're kind of my favorite thing, honestly.
Yeah, actually, I lied. This isn't Knight's Quest. This is an ad for Knight's Quest Patreon. Actually, this is
something
else.
What every episode of Knight's Quest is?
Yeah, actually.
Hey.
This has all been a scam. Last week we told you it's free, but it's not. You gotta pay us money.
And they're not usually like 9 seconds long. They're usually...
Some might consider this a crime.
What part of this is a crime?
How bad this is.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess you could count that as a crime.
Would that make Michael Jackson's Smooth criminal? Is that...
I'm not even going to acknowledge what you said. Like, I'm just that, because that is the crime.
Shimon.
I mean, he probably would have said it like that.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that. Okay. Speaking of...
I was trying to think of a pun off of, like, criminy, but I couldn't think of anything.
Speaking of crime. Last episode, I said we had a lot to get through, and we didn't succeed at that.
To the surprise of no one.
To the surprise of no one. I remember telling someone, I was like, yeah, I expect us to be in the Giant's Foot for X number more episodes. They're like, what do you mean? I thought we were just going to be in there and leave. And I'm like, no.
Have you listened to this show?
This is episode 10, and it's the 6th. No, wait. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 6th episode in the Giant's Foot, and we still have yet to get the thing we needed.
No, we're getting it. We're getting
we finally found the person.
We found the person.
That's true. And since we found the person, we're now going to do a completely different scene. Yeah, we're going to do something else.
Because of course.
It's been 4 weeks since we last talked about Captain Flynn.
Oh shoot, that's right. Yeah.
Let's talk about Captain Flynn. Captain Flynn is on the docks,
standing on top of some barrels, looking so cool with his bowler hat.
He's got a bowler hat with a green gem, holding his trident, and he's facing off against Zampa de Piede and his 4 goons. He's got Rodrigo, Alfonso, Richard, and Chuck. Chuck is already out. Chuck's already knocked out. So 1 goon down. So with that, we already did calculate the order, and the top is going to be Flynn. So Flynn, you're wearing a funny hat. You got a trident. You're on some barrels. Got some goons.
Am I right in remembering that he stole the hat from one of them?
From Zampa.
He did. That hat did belong to
From Zampa.
de Piede. He also has a cane. Zampa has a cane.
Yeah.
Just to add insult to injury, literally,
Ooh.
he's going to take the hat off and just kind of spear it on the end of the trident and just torch it.
Okay. I don't think you need to roll for that because that.
Can I say, like, intimidation? Like, that's a...
Yeah, we can do that. We can roll for that.
It's a fear roll?
Yep. Do a fear roll. I want you to roll difficulty 2 and then roll a third difficulty on the side, which will be Zampa's. So he will be less likely to be intimidated, but his goons...
So you want me to just roll a purple by itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so we can tell it apart.
Okay, Zampa's purple is 2 disadvantages.
Okay.
And that is a success with 2 advantages.
Okay. So you'll succeed for everybody, but you'll lose those 2 advantages on Zampa. So I'm going to say 2 advantages. What were you trying to accomplish with this intimidation?
So it was twofold. The intimidation was, I'm an actual dragon person who can breathe fire. But it was also like, hey, screw you, I didn't even want your hat and it's dumb and I burned it.
Okay, so I'm going to say the success is that prior to this encounter, Zampa was like, who's this punk? Doesn't he know who I am? You know, De Piede Mafia's got this place covered. Now they go, oh, this guy is a bro drink captain. Okay, this guy is this guy is of note. We know some bro drink captains you gotta pay respects to. So they all understand that. The goons are now scared of you. The goons are scared.
The 3 remaining goons yell out in dismay when they see the hat being torched, and it sounds like,
hey!
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, yeah.
So yeah, all 3 of them, I think that's 2 advantages worth. All 3 of them are now scared of you. That doesn't mean they won't attack you if their boss says to do so.
The boss.
But they will, if they do attack, they will do it at disadvantage.
Hey, boss, this guy's scary. Yeah, what do you think we should do, boss? Yeah, what do you think we should do, boss? I might let go of this bit real quick. I'm not sure if this is landing even for me.
The joke of the 3 goons all talking at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
Hey, well,
I might cut the anchor on this one right away to use a seafaring thing, yeah.
I dig that.
Well, they do say that, and Zampa de Piede goes, hey, I told you guys, we gotta knock this guy out. He's showing us the disrespect. He's not respecting the de Piedes. He's not respecting the family. Show this bro drink captain who's really in charge around here. I'm gonna say the goons gotta go first. I think Zampa's making them go first.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, they're gonna, can I have them throw barrels at Flynn, Donkey Kong style? Is that a thing I can do? Yes. I don't know how big these barrels are, but...
Yeah, they're goons. They can throw barrels. Flynn, what is your resistance?
2.
Okay.
Sweet.
Alright, so I'm gonna say the goons, just for simplicity, all of their stuff is gonna be 2, their resistances and their attacks. Okay. So, Jamie, you can make one of those rolls. How about all of us will make one of the attack rolls on Flynn? So, make it a 2-2 with a setback.
With a setback.
And we'll see if any of the barrels hit.
Alright. So are we all rolling 2 and 2 and a setback?
Yep.
Okay. Mine is just 1 advantage, which I guess makes it a failure. Failure, okay. 1 advantage.
Okay.
Failure, disadvantage.
Okay. And I have just a success.
Okay.
So I can have that extra advantage and disadvantage cancel each other out, and so it's just 2 misses and then 1 hit is what I'll do, just to keep it clean. So we'll just have 1 barrel hit you, and I'm going to say that one was Alfonso. Alfonso throws the barrel.
You dirty
He
rat.
wasn't scared. He wasn't as scared. He throws the barrel, boom, hits.
I actually hit him. I hit the captain. Look at me. Hey, fellas, look at me. I hit the captain with a barrel.
Hits you square in the chest, your soft region. Now, you do have armor on, which keeps it from being something real bad, but you are still going to take 1 harm, and let's just say barrel to the chest is your harm. Probably bruised chest is what
I don't know if
we
that's
want to
going to
say.
fit in the text box.
Tummy,
yeah.
A boo-boo.
Boo-boo tummy.
Actually going to write down tummy boo-boo.
You should write that down. And so you're still hurt from that lightning blast, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you've now at 3 harm total?
Yep.
3 vitality? Okay. Let's keep that in mind, folks. How much do you have total?
I have 9 total. I'm at 6.
Oh, okay.
Yo.
So I forgot you're a chunky guy.
Yeah,
So.
I'm sturdy.
Okay, now Zampa's gonna go. I think he's not gonna get into the fight quite yet. I think he's gonna he's not gonna get into the fight until he needs to, right? I mean, he's a respectable gentleman.
Give me a read on this man's emotions after seeing his hat get torched.
He is annoyed. He is very much upset at this situation. Like, not only did you not show him respect, you are clearly smearing it all over him. I mean, it's just rude. I lost all my words. I don't know where they all went. So here's what he's going to do. He's going to use a move to try to counteract the fear of his men.
Is the mood called "Get 'em, boys"?
Yeah, I like that. The move is called "Get 'em, boys," and so he is going to roll fear to counteract the fear that they have of you.
Be more afraid of me.
Yeah. He succeeds with an advantage. So their fear of you is gone.
Oh.
And so he's like, "Gentlemen, let's not forget who runs this town. And if you keep messing up, I'm gonna go tell Dito about how this fight went down. So get 'em, boys." So now that fear that they have of you has been trumped by their fear of Dito de Piede. So they will be motivated on that. And I'm going to say that extra advantage is, I'm going to say maybe that has a little bit of an effect on you. Obviously, you're not afraid of Dito de Piede. I don't think you know who he is. But I think that this reference, this name drop, it makes you go, whoever this is, this is not just some random thug. I'm messing with an important organization.
Oh,
So
for sure.
I don't think that stat-wise does anything to you, but it might impact your pride of, okay, I'm not just messing with criminals. This is a whole force that I have put myself against now. And back to Flynn.
The fear thing being replaced by a different fear makes a lot more sense than my idea, which is that all of these guys have been working on emotional regulation through therapy, and they've been really getting in touch with their feelings. Yeah.
A little bit of both. Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Flynn?
It's me. I think, per usual, Flynn's anger is going to get the better of his reason, and he is going straight for Alfonso.
Oh, okay. And what does that entail? What does straight towards him mean?
He is going to...
You also remember, you don't have your coat right now. Zampa has your coat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just gonna, kind of cast the trident aside. Doesn't really care where it goes. Doesn't care if it goes in the water, doesn't care if it lands on the dock. He just drops it, and he's gonna just lunge, claws bared, growling at Alfonso.
Okay, so a physical attack.
Yeah.
Okay, make a physical attack against Alfonso. His resistance is 2.
I've got good in that.
Okay. Poor Alfonso might get...
It says right here, it's written down, good at fight.
What's Alfonso's resistance?
It's a 2.
Okay, I got 3 successes, 3 disadvantages. So it's a success with 3 disadvantages.
Okay, so you're gonna be able to attack Alfonso. Or is this like a claw attack is what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Okay, so Alfonso, I'll mark that down. It's taken a harm.
I like to think he was just turning to the boys like, hey, yeah, we don't need to be scared of this guy. We got Don,
and
Don
then a
whatever.
shadow looms over him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So you attack him with your claws. I'm going to say the 3 disadvantages. Now you're in a bad position, though.
No.
So you had been on top of the barrels, but you go in to attack him and the other goons. You're surrounded.
Sure.
3 of them now. You are surrounded by a little gang right now.
Sure.
I think that's 2. I think that's 2 disadvantages because I got 2 of the guys who moved in. And
Sure.
the 3rd disadvantage is going to be that you don't notice because of your rage attack.
Don't notice that I'm surrounded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got tunnel vision on Alfonso right now, and you're not aware that the other 2 have come up behind you. Speaking of which, other goons. It's your turn.
Did we already discuss weaponry for these fine gentlemen?
I'm going to say that this is the kind of thing where they've maybe got... I don't think they have weapons on them. I'm going to say they've got their fists. Maybe they can grab like a board or plank or something, or a club, but they weren't strapped. These just goons.
You know what? They're just going to try to hit him. They're going to try to use punches.
Go for it. Sure.
Okay.
Is Alfonso going to do a punch too?
Remind me again of how Flynn hit him.
He claw attacked him like a scratch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Alfonso will try to punch him.
All right, so let's have this. Everybody make a roll. Another 2-2 roll. And I'm going to say for the 2 guys who snuck up behind him, they're going to get a boost.
Alfonso is like, these guys are used to dealing with probably orcs and humans and elves, right? Mm-hmm. Probably not so much Draconi.
You're definitely not, yeah.
It's just like, did you just scratch me? Who scratches people?
Okay, I'll roll for Alfonso since I technically did for him last time. So you guys get a boost. Oh, Alfonso, he missed with a disadvantage.
Yeah, that's 2 successes and a disadvantage. So a success and a disadvantage.
Okay.
This goon got a success and 2 advantages.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to say you're going to get punched twice. From the back now, and I think
He's having a bad time.
Since your coat is off, that means your wings are out, and maybe they like punch like at the joint where the wings are.
Okay.
I imagine that to be maybe a more, I don't know, vulnerable region.
Sure.
It just seems
it is
like where I would hit it.
Yeah.
So take 2 1 harms, Flynn, towards your back. So that's another 2 points of damage, but each are 1 point wounds, so keep that in mind for healing purposes. And I'm going to again cancel out. I'm going to say all of the advantages and disadvantages cancel out because there were 2 extra disadvantages and 2 extra advantages, so we'll just leave it with they punch you twice. So now, Flynn, you've got 4 health left, right? Mm-hmm. Great. I think Zampa is going to walk up now, and he's got his cane in his hand. He's got a smack in his hand with the cane, and he's like, Mr. Brodrin, Captain, you've failed to tell me your name. Doesn't matter, because you're going to be forgotten anyway. You got a lot of spunk, I can see it. You got a lot of fire. But I'm going to tell you this, you've walked into the wrong part of town. And I recommend that you shill over everything that you got on your ship. And we'll make sure that Tito, he gets a nice gift later today. How's that sound? And he's trying to intimidate you.
Okay.
As his role.
See, this is tough because Flynn's not afraid of him. And I know this has to be a role, but like...
So I can be difficulty 3.
Okay. I feel like this is tough because I don't think that comes from a place of not being afraid. I think it comes from the place of...
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
With the boost. And literally all the positive dice were blank, and all the negative dice showed failures. I kid you not. So he just epically failed. Like, he's monologuing, he's doing his... You care 0 about this.
How close is he?
He's behind his goons.
Of course.
He's behind his goons.
Wait, but they're surrounding me.
Yep, correct.
Which goons is he behind?
He's behind some of them.
he's behind some of them. Maybe Alfonso and Rodrigo.
Because there's only 3, and 2 of them were behind me.
Mm-hmm. So he's kind of like angled where he's in front of you. He came in front.
Okay.
So he could talk to you. If
I try to fly now, am I going to have a disadvantage because of the punches?
Yep.
Okay.
You'll have a setback for sure.
What kind of a roll would that even be for fly?
I mean, you can fly, but I'd say because of the tight situation, it would probably be like a dexterity thing, like a fancy feat, because you're trying to get out of a tight situation quickly.
Right. Escaping.
And you're not a fast boy.
I'm good at that.
Escaping from them is the primary difficult thing.
I would give you a boost because it's flying. Like, that's cool.
Sure.
Love that.
So they're all relatively close to me.
Yep.
I mean, they're within punching range.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. He's going to do a good old tailspin.
Sure.
Ooh, I like that.
Let's go. Your tail has not been hurt, so I won't do a setback on this attack in particular. So yeah, make a attack, and I'm assuming you're trying to get all 3 of the goons.
Yeah.
So yeah, make a physical attack again. And I'm going to say it uses a KP.
Okay.
Just because you're attacking more than one person at once. Whether you make this just a move that you have now, tailspin, or that's just you were doing an extra thing.
Sure. Difficulty 2?
Yeah, that's the resistance.
Yay. It's just a success.
Okay, great. You're going to knock all the goons. And so I'll give you this. With this success, you can either deal 1 harm to all 3 goons, or they all get knocked back but don't take a harm.
So we're on a dock. Can I knock them into the water?
I guess they can maybe, without any advantages, I'm going to say you can't knock it into the water. I'm just going to say they're going to get knocked back so that you could, like, get out of that spot that you're in.
Okay. So if I don't deal harm, what happens?
They'll all have their legs swept from underneath them and fall over so that you can get out from being surrounded by them.
This position? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
It won't specifically injure them, but comedically, it'll be great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so you're on the ground, you do a spin with your tail knocking over all three of the goons, Alfonso, Rodrigo, and Richard. And they all fall on the ground, and you're able to get out of that situation. Do you kind of do like a fly hop out, or do you just kind of run?
Yeah, he like jumps backwards, like away from Zampa, but he kind of uses his wings a little bit to kind of make the jump a little bit further, like higher, and, it's a further jump then.
Yeah, so you're out of that tight spot. It is now the goons and Zampa's turn.
Hey, what's he doing? Whoa!
Very good.
I've been practicing my Foley work.
It's a good Foley. Good Foley. Thank
getting
you.
really
That's
good
less work
at
I got to do now. That's less sound effects I got to put in. You already did it. I think it's true. Zampa is going to kind of see this situation. He's clearly getting even more agitated. His threat didn't work. His goons are just getting knocked all over the place. But he can tell
going well.
He can tell that like he is wearing you down. And he's like, "You can't run away from us forever, lizard man."
Okay, that's got to be a slur.
Definitely not a good thing to call somebody.
So I think does he go for an attack yet? I think I'm gonna roll for that one. No, he's not quite in a position where he's like desperate to attack. I think he might only attack when he like needs to. So he'll like snap his fingers and he's like, "Boys, whoever brings me the head of this lizard gets to sit at the table tonight with the rest of the family." So it's the goon's turn.
Well, that changes things. Let's go. Apparently this is not the norm. I'm just kind of sad, I guess.
Sit at the table with the family.
Sit at the adults' table.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to to having your food placed gently in the dirt like usual.
Alright, what do the goons do?
Flynn is trying to fly away and succeeding, is that correct?
He didn't fly away, he just kind of like backed away, like he's further up on the docks now.
To make it feel like the scene has a little bit more like a little bit more sharpness and a little bit more high stakes, can any of them break something to be like a sharp weapon?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, they just broke a barrel, so...
Okay, yeah. One or more of them, broken, ragged piece of wood. Gonna try to hit him with it, give him splinters.
Yeah, going for the attacks. Are all three trying to attack again?
I can't think of anything else besides attacking, honestly. Like, nothing interesting is coming to mind.
Alright, boys, let's make 3 attacks. Each of us do a 2-2 attack.
Okay.
We'll see where that gets us.
We don't need a boost again this time, do we?
Nope, no boost this time. He is out of that situation.
Just straight up 2 and 2.
Which has helped him.
Failure with advantage.
A perfect 0. Everything canceled out for nothing but failure, I guess.
Okay, and I have just a success.
So once again... Well, it's not exactly the same as last time, but once again, we have 1 success.
And then a bunch of nothing, yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, like, at the end of the day, this is still impressive. There are 3 goons who are coming in and attacking Captain Flynn, and he has been dodging these attacks. I imagine that he probably blocks one of them with his arm, and it, like, shatters as it hits his arm, not doing any harm to him. Yeah. The other one maybe, just swings by him as he ducks out of the way. And maybe can kick it out of the dude's hands and is like, get out of here, no good.
I imagine he catches one in his teeth and just breaks it with his teeth.
Yeah, the second one he caught with his teeth and just shattered it to pieces. Ooh. But the third one, Alfonso, again, he ain't done yet. Alfonso's the one who did it again.
Alfonso's a made man. He's coming up.
He stabs him in his side where his armor has stopped. So you're going to take another 1 point harm. You got to stab.
So punching is 1 harm. Stabbing is also 1 harm.
Stabbing with a relatively weak piece of wood rather than a metal weapon. So it's a
jab, not a stab.
Yeah, we can call
I'm
it
going to say like you're bleeding. Like you are bleeding, but it's not like, oh shoot, I've like taken this major...
He has not sunk the object into me.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
it it wouldn't be nearly as serious as a sword stab, I imagine.
Yeah, like if you got like cut from a knife or something, like, okay, this hurts, this is bad.
It would also be super annoying if you had to deal with like splinters being stuck, you know? Mm-hmm. Like splinters at all are already a bad sight, but like if they're part of a slightly deeper actual injury too, that would suck.
So the captain is not looking so good. Zampa is quite happy with how his goons are doing, and Flynn is being backed into the corner. However, before Flynn can go and retaliate, a stone flies through the air.
Uh-oh.
And is going to hit Zampa, and I'm going to make an attack on him. Let's see, that's going to be 3, and his resistance is a 2, and I'm going to give him a boost for the surprise. That is just a plain success. What Flynn sees is a stone whizzes over his head from behind him, and it clonks Zampa on his now bare head. He's got no hat.
I was about to say, can it be on the head where it wouldn't have hurt him if he didn't have the hat still?
And the second it makes contact, the stone itself crackles, and an electric bolt kind of courses through Zampa's body as he gets shocked, and one harm is dealt to him. And the captain turns, along with the rest of the goons, to see running down the docks is Kareen, as she is holding a sling in her hand, and she has a pouch on her side that she is now reaching in and has another stone in her hand ready to go. And she says, Captain, I thought you were going for a walk. This seems more like a brawl, and you know how much I hate being left out of the fun.
A pouch of portable attack runes is my favorite thing.
Thank you. I've been thinking about this one for a while. Okay, Kareen has entered the brawl. Flynn, your turn.
A new challenger has appeared.
It's a good thing I don't have a character in this scene, because I would not be able to resist having to be like, more like Zappa, right?
Also, Flynn, you see that she is also wearing the gauntlet on her left hand.
Oh, interesting.
That makes sense. She was studying it.
I can't not do this. He's gonna try and grab 2 of the 3 goons and head smash both of them onto the third goon.
Ooh. Onto the third goon?
Yeah, it's the perfect Three Stooges. Yeah.
It's time to do the head clonk. I'm going to say, again, just because it's a cool physical move, that will make this a KP, but let's just make it another physical attack on the goons, resistance 2. And I will give you a boost because they are taken aback by the fact that Zampa just got shocked, like the boss.
The boss.
The boss. Not the boss, but he's above him.
It is a success with a disadvantage.
Okay. So I'm going to say you clonk out the goons, and I'm assuming your goal was to knock them out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say one disadvantage is going to be you are able to knock out 2 of the goons.
But Alfonso.
The
Alfonso's he's the real final boss.
And Alfonso, he's got that claw streak across his face. Very recognizable in that. But yeah, you clonk out 2 of the goons.
I mean, just because he's not knocked out doesn't mean that doesn't suck.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's still jostled by it, but like, ooh, Alfonso. I think Zampa,
he's shaking his fist at the sky. Alfonso.
Seeing all this go on, and he's like, all right, okay, so,
now it's a fair fight. Now it's 2-on-2.
Now he's clearly like, he's trying to be tough, but you can tell he's definitely shook. And so he's just going to try to attack you with his cane at this point. And so Alfonso's going to make an attack against you, Captain, because Kareen is still a distance away.
Fonz doesn't have the cane. That's Zampa.
Sorry, I meant to say Zampa.
Okay.
Excuse me. Zampa's going to attack you. And Alfonso, he's going to get the goon. He's going to actually drag the 2 goons. Can I say that, Jamie? Can he drag the 2 goons out of the way?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, by all means.
He cares about his boys, you know? All right, and
what?
resistance is 3.
For the boys.
Oh.
All right, he is going to fail, but he has 3 advantages.
Okay.
So he's not going to hurt you. He comes in.
I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you. Really, really bad.
I think he's definitely going to get you, so you are now back against the edge of the dock, so you couldn't back up physically. I mean, you can fly, but there's nowhere where you can walk.
There's no more ground.
Yeah, you're pinned in that situation, and he's got 3 advantages. So Any help with other ideas? That's one of them.
What's the cane made of?
I think it's wood, but it's got some metal coating on some of the tips or like on the handle.
Yeah, some ornamentation.
Yeah.
I think maybe because of this like position that he's put himself in now, Kareen might have a setback moving forward. If she's going to be throwing runes at Zampa, there is a chance that she might also hit Flynn.
Good call. Yep, I like that. Okay, so that's the position. The goons have moved out of the way. It is now Kareen's turn, and I think she sees the situation, and she sees how her captain is looking. I mean, she knew he was hurt beforehand, but now he's taking some more damage. I think she ruffles through her bag of runes, and she looks at her gauntlet, and she says, "Captain, if you can get out of the way, maybe I could pull a trick out of your own hat."
Okay.
This will be interesting.
Can I react to that, or I mean, it's her turn.
Yeah.
Like, can I do something?
Or how about this? As lore, can he even be hurt by fire?
No.
So maybe he just says something like that, where he's like,
He just says, do it.
she's like, okay, and she is going to put whatever rune she had been messing with back in its pouch, and she then angles the glove, kind of using her right hand to like support it, because it is heavy. And Ticket didn't do this. She didn't know to do this.
I would love if the gauntlet had like a bipod that folded out like a stand. Or maybe she like sets it on a barrel or something.
And so she is going to use the gauntlet on Zampa, which she is, again, good at doing that. Here, I'll make one of the purples red, just to represent the captain.
Interesting. Okay.
That is a success with 3 advantages.
Okay. Can I take one of the advantages?
You may.
I assume this doesn't kill Zampa.
No, we're not going to kill Zampa.
Okay. Can one of the advantages be, because he's not wearing his coat, obviously, so he's just got his kind of like studded leather armor. When the flames hit Flynn, because I assume they're going to go through and around Zampa and also Flynn, it's just going to make him like 10 times more terrifying, because he's just going to be standing in this inferno, like scales glistening, teeth bared, just glaring at Zampa.
Yeah. So what happens is she's kind of behind both of you. She activates the runes on the gauntlet, and a blast of fire, a column of fire comes pouring out, burning Zampa's finely tailored coat. His cane is going to catch on fire, and of course he's in pain from this. And what he sees, though, because his back is to Kareen, is he sees Captain Flynn
just wreathed in flames.
Wreathed in flame. And though he's taken some beatings, and though he's taken some harm, he's still smiling and was never once intimidated by what appears to Captain Flynn just a bigger goon. And so Zampa, in reaction to being set on fire, is gonna, I think he's gonna jump into the water to put himself out. And from once he surfaces, he shouts, he's like, "Alfonso, bring the others back. Bring the others back to the manor. We're done with this sea rat. He's not worth our time anyway." And then he kind of turns to you two, and he's still kind of shook as Kareen stands beside Captain Flynn, looking over the water, and he says, "This is the last you've heard of the De Piede family. You watch yourself. You might think you're a hot shot, but there's a lot of people with a lot of power here in this valley, and my dad's one of them."
My father will hear about this.
My dad's gonna hear about this.
So wait, he's just in the water? So he's gotta like slowly swim back to a different part of the dock?
Yeah, correct.
I think Flynn's not going to say anything. He's just going to continue to walk down the dock, so that if Zampa wanted to try to get back on the dock, he would have to get on the dock right in front of Flynn. So he's just going to force him to swim down the entire length of the pier until land starts.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah, so just a humiliating swim of shame.
I think as they're kind of like just walking as he's swimming by, and Alfonso's dragging the other. Maybe Chuck has woken up by this point. He's helping get the other guys out of there. Kareen feeling a little good after being able to help with the situation. She's like, we don't care about any DPDs or whatever you are, okay? The only threat to a broodring is other broodrings. Zampa, as maybe he's able to finally... There's another dock that he swims to that's not the one you're on.
Yeah.
But it's still within shouting range, and he says, well then, you better count your lucky waves, or whatever, that Captain Trench isn't here right now. But you better hope he doesn't come back soon.
Has this guy not threatened us with enough vague authority figures already that he has to add more into the mix?
Yeah, Flynn's just gonna roar at him, like lions roar.
I like that.
Now, I will say this. Does Flynn have any reaction to the name Trench?
Not to Zampa, but I think, like, whatever happens with the roar, when he turns back to head back towards the ship, he's definitely different. Not the rage, the anger is still there, but there's something else, like, just below the surface. It's not just anger, it's not just physical hurt, there's something else at the mention of Trench's name. And
I think Kareen, kind of looking at all your wounds, she's like, Captain, you took quite a beating there. It's a good thing I got there when I did, although clearly you don't need me, I suppose.
He just kind of, like, grunts an affirmative and, like, goes to pick up his coat.
This gauntlet, now this is a fun toy. I wonder if Ticket would let me use it more often. She's, opening and closing the fingers. I mean, I can understand why you like breathing the fire and everybody. I mean, this is a lot of fun. This is...
Oh, no.
I think he does, like, stop. He was, like, definitely in his own head when Kareen says that. He stops and kind of turns around and gives her, like, a confused smile, and he says, I do be fun.
Well, I hope the rest of our crew comes back soon. I don't know how many more goons we can throw off the dock.
Mayhaps it's time we head back to the ship, hey?
Hi, Captain, yes.
I think I've walked enough.
Hi, Captain. Maybe you could, maybe I could join you in your restful sitting. And as they walk back, she's like, but seriously though, what is my brother doing? Why is it taking him so long? Meanwhile...
Could I have one more quip from Flynn?
Sure.
He says to Kareen, I always assume a task is going to take 10 times longer if Zataar is the one doing the task. I wouldn't worry just yet.
And they head back to the ship as the sun is setting, has been setting behind the mountains. Meanwhile, real close to the mountains, Zataar and Saoirse find themselves in the callous fighting pit with Zataar on top of a razor gator, and walking into the arena, they see another gray orc, a woman this time, and she isn't looking too great either, but she does wield a cutlass with a red blade.
Yes.
She's just walking in, cash, with weapons?
Yep.
Huh.
Okay.
Interesting.
You can tell that she is definitely looking at the situation, trying to figure out what's going on. And when she sees you, Zataar, she, with you on the razor gator, she gets into a defensive position as if ready to attack you. Like you are the one that she is in here to fight. And she even gets into some positions that you recognize as like Usrin fighting stances. Like clearly she knows.
Like she's clocked me.
Yeah, she's clocked you and knows your fighting styles and is able to get in appropriate positions. But then as she continues to scan the area, she sees Saoirse with her helmet on and kind of like cocks her head sideways.
If I'm not mistaken, Saoirse still has like a rope
attached to the
haphazardly
fence,
tied to a fence post and is ineffectually trying to bring it down. And then all of this other stuff happens super quickly, so she's just baffled, and she's just like, Silene? And I guess probably lets go of the rope at this point to rush back over to Zataar, because the plan has very much changed.
Silene kind of like squints, because again, it's dark, and she's like,
Yeah.
it is Silene, but there's no way Saoirse could ever fit that much hair underneath a helmet.
Shoot, I should have thought more about what we'd say if we actually found her.
Is that just how Saoirse feels? Like she's kind of like, oh, I didn't actually think this part through.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind having this part on the recording. Saoirse thought that, okay, we have to get out of this fight, either incapacitating the Razor Gator or letting it loose somehow. And then after that, in the chaos, we can get out of here and actually find Silene, right? That was where her mind was at. So having her just walk in is completely throwing her off her game. She has no idea what to say or do. Maybe she just doesn't respond to that at all. Maybe she's just looking back and forth between her and the sword and Zataar, and she's just kind of like, Gator! And she just runs over and tries to help him, yeah.
Okay. How do you try to help?
Well, we have to pin him to quote-unquote win, right?
Mm-hmm.
She can yell to Silene rather than any of the things she thought she would want to say on finding her again. Pushing all that to the side for now, just frantically. Any advice on how to subdue the beastie?
Silene then kind of like looks towards Zataar. She says, I mean, you're already in the right spot. I would just tie it shut. You're already on top. That's the hardest part.
You said there's lots and lots of rope around, right? Can I grab a new one? Because I like
yeah, you can grab a new one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was hoping. Yeah. I figured I might as well ask just in case she had some secret insight on the situation, but this works too. I'm gonna try to tie the rope around its jaws, man. I'm gonna try to do the classic gator wrestling move
that we all know.
Gator Razor Gator wrangling. I think for this
wrestling
move,
just sounds so much better, you know.
The initial part of the fight is wrestling. The goal is wrangling.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I think it's a dexterity, maybe even quick hand if you got it.
I do not.
Then it's definitely quick hand.
I'm gonna make it 1 purple, 1 red, but a boost because Zataar is helping you. I'm assuming Zataar is helping.
Yeah. His darndest.
Success, but 2 disadvantages.
Okay, then I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say you do succeed at tying it up, but you're going to get hurt. I'm going to say that in the process, you're not losing your arm or nothing, but you are, on your right hand, you're going to get scratched up pretty bad.
Ooh, okay.
So you're going to take 1 harm from a scratched up hand. Again, didn't lose no fingers. That's a 3-point wound to make permanent damage like that. It's enough to take out a chunk of your health. But you are able to tie it up. You've got its mouth shut. And from your position, I think Silene that kind of runs in and just like plants herself on top of its mouth. Like,
oh no.
So that way she's like putting more weight on that position.
Okay.
And I think the crowd is definitely confused because they thought she was going to fight you guys.
Right.
But you hear the speaker go,
well, it looks like that's the end. That we got ourselves some winners, folks. It looks like the foam lickers have survived another day, and the justice of the hill has yet to be found.
I don't even know what that means, but I love it. Can I have Saoirse, this might be ineffectual, but can I have her, like, kind of trying to get it to calm down a little bit and, like, doing the classic animal, like, shh, like, patting it and stuff?
Sure, yeah. Give me husbandry.
Okay, yeah. Before they come to, like, take it away or whatever. What do you want that difficulty?
I'm gonna say, 3. But I'll give you a boost, because you didn't harm it.
Okay. 2 green, 1 yellow, 1 boost, 3 difficult. It's a lot to go over. Okay. I've got a success with 1 disadvantage.
Okay. So the beast is able to calm down a little bit. You're able to. It's not flailing as much. It's not like you're...
What if I told you she wants to seem like she's having it calm down, but she's actually trying to communicate something else?
Like what?
While the announcer is telling us, like, the Brodrings prevailed, or whatever, da-da-da-da-da, and everyone's like, yes, they've won in their fight. I want Saoirse to look like she's trying to calm it down, like, let me help the poor creature, while she's really whispering in its ear, like, think of how much they hurt ye, think of how much you want to just absolutely let loose, and pay them back for all the pain they've given you. I want this thing to go nuts.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
Saoirse's not doing great this episode.
I'm gonna do a spicy pivot for you.
Okay,
I'm gonna say that's effective. You can see that the beast, like, with its eye, like, looks at you, and, like, it goes from fearing you, because it was fighting you, to, like...
Yeah.
Again, it's a beast, so it's not like, I understand the plan.
No, for
but
sure,
I think just the way that you communicate, I mean, you can control Tanin. Like, that's the thing you do. You're able to redirect its anger outward, and so it goes from looking to you to looking out at the orcs that are now coming in, and you hear its teeth rev just a little bit. Not enough to cut the ropes, but like...
Yeah. I want to be ready. I want to be ready to let go and untie the ropes.
Oh. I'm going to say, though, that the disadvantage is going to be that Silene, who's sitting on top of it, hears you say all of this, and she looks at you and goes, up to your old tricks, aren't you? Gotta control everything with sharp teeth that you see.
I prefer to think of it as setting it free from control for once.
You could tell she, like, doesn't like your plan, but then she looks at the orcs and she's like, alright, but when we run, follow me.
Absolutely. I like that.
I guess the disadvantage was she overheard you, I guess. I don't know.
Do you want to try to think of something else instead?
How about this? So Saoirse, how does Saoirse feel about Silene taking over?
I don't know. I mean, we found her. That was our plan.
Then I think what she'll do is, now she's kind of running the show almost a little bit. She turns to you, Zataar, and she says, you got that sword of yours in his mouth, right?
Oh, the sword is still in there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
When we say so, cut the ropes.
Oh, okay. Seems counterproductive, but okay.
She turns to Saoirse and she's like, it's been a while since we've been into the hijinks together, hasn't it?
And she says this as if she's quoting something, or like an old inside joke, or not a joke, but in like a well-known phrase, between some older crew of days gone by. And she says, a blaze of chaos, and get away in the smoke.
Silene smiles, and she turns to Zataar and she says, all right then, let him have it.
I thought I was supposed to not let them have it.
She like quickly glanced at Saoirse. She's like, get your man to go.
Zataar, do the thing.
Okay. And he's gonna try and rotate the sword so that the sharp end is pointing out, and push it so that it cuts through the ropes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that part will be a success. That's not the issue. I want us to roll, though, for is the running away bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So let's have everyone roll fancy feet, but with, Saoirse, you got a boost still from your encouragement, and another boost from this whole shindig.
Love to hear that.
And then Zataar, you get a boost as well. And then I will not roll for Silene.
Okay.
Just because.
What's the difficulty?
2, but I'll add a setback just because of the orcs and the mud.
Alright. I only have a 2 for Dex, but hopefully with the boosts.
Oh, not sweet.
Hopefully that's enough.
I'll give you guys 2 more boosts just because Silene that's what she'll do.
2 more boosts?
So, no, 1 for each of you, so I'll roll those.
Okay.
So Jake, add another advantage, and Jamie, add another success.
Can we swap those?
We can.
Is that helpful to you, Jamie?
If you give me an advantage, then I have 6 advantages, but a failure?
Jake, what do you have?
I have a failure with 3 advantages.
Okay, so advantages are plenty.
Wild amount of advantages, but also both failed?
So maybe it's that we don't succeed in running away, but the advantages are we don't need to run, that the chaos that ensues is enough that we're not being pursued.
Okay.
So I'll play it out to wrap up, because we got 9
That's
extra
what I
advantages
wanted.
throughout all this. So it's going to be good in the end. You release the Razor Gator, and it charges forward, and the orcs were not prepared for this, and it absolutely starts wreaking havoc. The rest of the crowd is now torn between cheering and being scared. The announcer is trying to regain some form of control,
Gentle orcs, that's not now. Come on, folks. The show's still going on. We don't need to be running. Okay, well, don't be running in the ring.
so some people running in to help, or maybe fight too. Yeah, and so there's just so much hecticness that Silene's well, I guess we could just leave calmly at this point. And so instead of running into the sunset, you guys just kind of blend in with the crowd and start walking away as the chaos goes on. She leads you through the building, clearly knowing her way around and out through the front door that you guys came in from, just to get some distance from all this. Again, she's still moving hurriedly. She's not casually sauntering. You can tell she's ready to get out of the callus. But once you're a good distance away, she says, "Okay, well, I must say that I am happy to actually see you again this time. Didn't think I'd say that one. Guess I owe you for whatever that was. But I gotta ask, what in the depths drove you all the way back here?"
Well, the long version is a story involving a Tanin sadly passing. And the short version is, Silene, we need your help.
When she hears the passing of a Tanin, you can see she does feel for you. She knows how much that means to you, and whatever is between you guys, she does respect that. She pauses and she says, "Saoirse, you know how risky it is for me to try to get you those resources, especially here."
I know.
And then she thinks about it. She says, "Speaking of sharp teeth, is old Hothead still with you?"
He knows that we be looking for our next lead on how to brave the maelstrom, but he doesn't know about, well, you.
Aye. And she looks at Zataar, who's obviously here for the fencing work, and she says, "Well, how about this? We can discuss operations and payments and yada yada, but not here. I owe you at least a little bit of Giant's Foot hospitality for what you did back there, so I'm gonna take you to what was my place, if they still left it, and we can discuss."
I don't know if I'm speaking just for myself, but I've had quite enough of Giant's Foot hospitality for one day.
She says, "Aye. I think me too." So she leads them off through the dark area of the hill towards, hopefully, somewhere with less sharp teeth. Thank you all for listening to Night's Quest, and of course, a big thank you to all of our patrons, especially our Triumph Tier patrons, Lo Long May He Reign, those dang halves again, Mike and Reagan, Ken, and Deity of Riches. You can join their ranks by heading to kqpodcast.com, where you can get access to bonus episodes, our Discord, exclusive merch, and our newsletter with behind-the-scenes discussions and bonus stories. Next episode is coming out in 2 weeks, on October 27th, and we will see you there. And he's like, "Hey, come on, guys. What is this? You can hit better than that." No, that's a lame thing to say.
No, that's dumb and stupid. I won't say that.
I think he's not going to
I'm
quite
about to say all that in character.
No, wait, hold on. I got a better one.
No, hold on. I can try that one again.